Well, we've got one more thing we want to show everybody that happened while we were out at the Nevada Northern.
Right.
We didn't anticipate this.
No.
Nobody anticipated this exactly. But while we were out there, it came out that $10 million that the railroad had applied for was granted.
Isn't that wonderful?
Isn't that great? And it's to reopen the line to McGill.
That is so neat.
The passenger.
Isn't that cool?
The
I'm just
passenger
excited.
It's
Yes.
just like, whoa, so we've driven that line before, but we thought, well, let's go out there and drive that line again. Of course, what brought us out here were two things. We wanted to see the new locomotive, Engine 81.
Right.
And we wanted to ride the haunted ghost train.
Right.
And we did both.
Yes, we did.
And our last few shows have been out here. But while we were out here, we picked up the newspaper, and it said $10 million, just over $10 million, have been granted to reopen the line to McGill. So let's look at the track plans here at the Nevada Northern. Here are the yards and the shops for the Nevada Northern. Down here is the old original main line that went through town, and they're also going to relay this track.
Oh, that is neat.
It's just a half mile or so, but it goes down to the White Pine County Museum. This is the track that replaced that track. The ore line or the bypass line, but it replaced the old original main line. The original main line ran down here, and you can see the grade is all still in place all the way to the White Pine Public Museum and Hometown Pizza. Good pizza. Anyway, here's the White Pine County Museum,
Right.
and this is where Engine 93 and 81 sat for 60 years after they were retired. Anyway, that line is going to be reopened right here so that they could actually bring those two locomotives down there again.
Oh, nice.
And we can ride trains all the way to that museum. That'll be fun. Now, one of the lines that they're using, probably the most popular line, is this line here up Robinson Canyon to the mines.
Right.
To Keystone Junction, which is where the mines were and still are.
Right.
They're just not using trains up here anymore. They're taking all the ore out of here by truck. Now, they also operate this track that goes out to McGill. It's the old original main line that went through McGill and then all the way up to Cobre and Shafter. But the only part of it that they're using is the high line that fed the upper part of the mill. So the raw ore was brought into the mill up here, and then it was gravity fed into the mill. This is now the current end of track on the high line, the high mill line. And there you can see there used to be a Y here.
Right.
But all the tracks have been removed. Now from Professor Google here, we can see the huge scar that was left when they tore down the mill and the smelter.
Right.
So there were actually two different tracks that fed the mill. The high line here, which fed the ore in at the top of the mill, and then down here, the lower line, which brought the milled product out. This junction right here is where that high line to the mill broke off from the main line continuing on toward Highway 93, and then it crossed Highway 93 right here. And then just past that crossing is this Y configuration, and the main line north continues this way for 100 miles to Shafter and Cobre, but this other line breaks off over here, which is the low line into the mill, and that was also the passenger line.
Really? Wow.
Into McGill. And that crosses over the highway yet again in order to get back into McGill, and it enters McGill right here, and you can see it coming up to this yard here, which was the entrance to the mill. And the tracks have been torn out from this point forward as the whole mill has been torn down. But you can see the old line here going into what used to be the mill complex.
Right.
The grade is still in here, and there's still a few structures left of the mill complex. It's really neat.
Yes.
I'd sure love to be able to get back in here and do some exploring.
Oh, no kidding.
But here's the entrance where that low line entered in. This is currently their security building, and they do keep a guard here.
They do.
All the time. So no, you're not welcome to come in there and snoop around.
No.
But because they do have security. But boy, wouldn't it be fun to be able to get back in here and just see the surviving structures of the mill complex.
Right.
But it says stop.
Yeah, and you better.
And you better. But I always think of the thousands of people who used to cross through this gate daily to earn a darn good living.
Right.
Here in this mill at McGill.
Right.
Remnants of a bygone era.
Oh, no kidding.
To me, it's sort of sad. You get kind of a melancholy.
Exactly.
About what once was and no longer is. Anyway, here is the passenger depot. Again, Professor Google is showing us the location of the passenger depot, which is right there at the end of track currently. This is what it looked like in its heyday.
Oh, neat.
Isn't that a neat old depot?
That's a beautiful building.
It's a cultured stone, and it was allowed to sort of fall into disrepair.
Right.
Over the years, through disuse, well, the top picture there shows how bad it got.
Oh, dear.
And the bottom picture shows what they've done with it.
Right.
So they've already received some grant money to come in here and rebuild the depot and restore it.
Oh, nice.
And they've been doing all of this work inside the depot, and the last thing they wanted to do was reopen the track and start using this depot again.
Awesome.
And so here's the new inside of the depot, ready to start doing passenger trains again. And all they were waiting for was the money needed to get the track going again. Look at this.
Uh-oh.
Somebody tagged the wall. And
They did?
Just last year somebody tagged it. No, that's 100 years ago.
Oh.
That's 1920.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, they've got it all fenced off for security, but here's the newly restored McGill Passenger Depot. And the tracks still come here. They're just not operational.
I see.
And now, because of this grant, they're
going to be.
They're going to be. And
Yes.
they're not only going to get these tracks running, they've got an idea to build an entire sort of little complex down here, this complex.
Oh, look at that.
They're going to put in a turntable.
Yes, I heard that.
Because they want to be able to run steam.
Right.
And so they'll be running both steam and diesel between McGill and Ely. So normally someone might say at this point, well, that's the news from Lake Wobegon. This is not Lake Wobegon. This is Ely, Nevada, and now McGill, Nevada.
Right.
They will soon be running passenger trains once more
Yes.
between Ely and McGill, and we will be there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, if you haven't been over to the channel, please pop over to the channel and check out our Nevada Northern playlist. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe with the blue button.
There it is.
There it is right there. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you next Sunday because we got some fun train shows to show you.
We do. We'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.